for now, let's play a little game here. I asked you to bring 2 big questions that we want answered, and we'll introduce the questions today. Then we'll come back on the second episode later this week on Thursday and answer these questions based on our models updates. So we both have 2 here, 4 total. We can alternate as we go. Give me your first question.
Yes, so mine is probably not a burning one, but it's one I do think we want to know. Are the Eagles the team to beat in the NFC? Yeah, they're the reigning champs, so maybe this is like a duh, of course. But, the top of the NFCs looked not like there's a clear runaway, really, and it's been pretty competitive so far. The Rams look good. I mean, that game was in their hands at the very end. Freaky, one of the worst bad beats ever if you're on the Rams side of that spread to swing that whole game. Bucks are 3-0. Lions look as good as ever since week 1. So there is some talent atop this NFC that could make this a lot closer than, of course, the Super Bowl champs are the team to beat. They haven't really looked like world beaters yet, though week 3 was by far their most complete game. Jalen Hurts tossed 3 touchdowns, rushed for 1. They finally got that passing game going, which I've been talking about for the first couple weeks on here. I'm surprised his MVP case isn't higher on the sports books. Could be some big value there at plus 2,200. This might be something we revisit next week. But 2 games with 150 or fewer passing yards and no touchdowns in those games will do that to your MVP case when you have Josh Allen doing Josh Allen things. And as we talked about, Justin Herbert just making his case early. They almost lost this game, yes, but it was, as I said, against their best competition yet. Good teams find ways to win close games. That's the reality. You're rarely going to win them all, and you will lose some, and you're going to win some dirty wins. And that's kind of what this ended up being. A.J. Brown came alive. Their big 3 receiving options of him, Devonta Smith and Dallas Goedert all scored. So, they're looking like the team to beat. I'll see what the model says. They were atop the NFC previously, but we'll see what they have for the Rams and Lions and the Bucs after some week 3 developments. But I do need to see some of that vintage Saquon Barkley. He's been all right, but I need my 150 yards, my 2 touchdowns for the sake of my fantasy teams and just for pretty much everybody. We want to see that. Come on. We love it.
Yeah. Or at least give us some hurdles. Give us something. Where's the highlight moments, Saquon? I'm waiting.
Sideways upside down hurdles this year, perhaps.
Yeah, where are we? The Eagles, I mean, you got to take the crown, right? Nobody can say they're the champs until you beat the champs, and nobody's been able to beat the champs. I am looking at them a little bit sideways personally right now. Just thought it was a complete luck, fortune moment to win that Rams game. I mean, they should be 2-1 right now. I can't believe they stole it out from under them. In the end, block kick, running back for the touchdown in the cover. Heartbreaking moment if you had the Rams as I did. But regardless of that, I think the Eagles' 3-0 record is a little more impressive than the eye test with them. We'll see if the model agrees. I'm excited to come back to that one in a couple days. I'm going to turn to a different NFC team here. I want to know if the Tampa Bay Bucks are for real. 3-0 start. The first time in years. They've had a bunch of 2-0 starts, but they always lose in week 3 whenever that happens. They tried their hardest to blow this game in week 3 against the Jets, but Baker Mayfield, man, 4th quarter, 2 minutes left, doesn't matter. If you need 70 yards for field goal range, Baker will get you there. He's just a gamer. He's one of the more underappreciated players, I think, in NFL history, honestly. At this point, I feel comfortable saying that. This is a guy that I think you can win a lot of games with and possibly make deep playoff runs. And this kind of ties into your speculation with the Eagles or what I was hinting at. But I think we're in a moment in time here as we all come to terms with the fact that the Chiefs have taken a sizable step backwards. I mean, our model tried to tell us that in the preseason, right? It's wide open. I mean, it is wide open. Even if the defending champs are the team to beat, even if it's the Ravens and the Bills, 2 teams we love and have loved for 5 years, those teams have never been the teams to get it done. Philly's great, but they look vulnerable too. I think the door is open for some surprise contenders, and the Bucs are probably at the top of my list right now. They're sitting pretty in the NFC South, a division where every other team is either 1-2 or 0-3. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to try and talk me into Atlanta causing any issues for Tampa Bay after a bagel this week. So I think they're going to coast to a division title, but I am curious, is the model buying into the Bucs anywhere beyond just in the NFC South? because there could be some value on jumping in at them at the right time here, especially if we think they can win enough games, maybe sweep the division and end up with a very nice seed come playoff time. But we'll see what the model thinks on Thursday.
Yeah, it's a great one, Greg. I would not be concerned about anyone in that division. They're certainly probably going to cruise. Not all the most convincing wins here. Some of them have come, I think all of them in the final minute of the game. But as we said, good teams find ways to win, and the Bucks are doing that early. Yeah, so my next one, it's kind of funny here. I think we all focused on 3-0 teams, but I think that's kind of interesting because there aren't, it doesn't feel like, aside from the Bills, that almighty 3-0 team is here. So we want a lot of questions answered about these 3-0 squads. And mine is, what is the ceiling for the Colts? Similar to what you said about the Bucks. They're 3-0 in a weak division, which is a good thing. You want to see some really quality wins here, but beating up on bad teams is important, especially if you want to get a bye, if that's going to be in play for them come the playoffs. Everyone is resurgent on this team. They have a coach of the year, comeback player of the year, and offensive player of the year candidate through 3 games. They've scored almost 30 plus, 29 points in week 2 in each game. They've got a pretty easy schedule for the rest of the season. Their toughest opponents, I think, by far are the Rams and Chargers, then the Chiefs, then another tier down with the Cardinals and Texans. And I'm probably being generous with the Texans. I think I had this in my notes before they just lost again, but they do have the good defense. They're a strong favorite to win the division in the Dimers model, over 38% before week 3. That's surely going up now. Are they made for the playoffs? First round, second round, AFC Championship? Won't play anyone of the Ravens-Bills caliber really until the playoffs. So that's a big problem, kind of. They're going to enter the postseason, except for the Chargers, who I think maybe you could put in that tier, but I still think they're kind of, let's see. They're not going to play any truly great team, I think, that you would say on paper right now this season, which could be a wake-up call in the postseason. So I'd like to see what the model thinks for them in the bigger picture, because the AFC South is basically a wrap, it seems like. Jaguars are right behind them at 2-1, but the difference between these two teams seems pretty clear. So if there's some value here in the AFC market or even the Super Bowl, it's something to take a look at.
Yep. And for my last one here, I'm going to go back to a team that we've kind of mentioned throughout the opening of this episode, but it is the Chargers. I think the breakout story of the league right now, Herbert obviously entering that realm of MVP possibilities here. Also did suffer the brutal injury to Najee Harris this week. Now, he's their running back 2. So in a weird way, as tragic as it sounds, does that just mean more workload for a better running back? Possibly.
Probably.
I think there could be some fantasy implications there and possibly some good things for the Chargers offense if more runs through the first stringer. But, they're sitting pretty in this division, just like all the teams that we've discussed here are. The Chargers at 3-0 in the AFC West. Coming into this week, our model had them right around a coin flip to win the division. It was priced fairly at around plus 105 coming into week 3. They took care of business again. I do think it's time to put them in the top tier just in terms of could they win it all. But I'm curious where the model can lead us to value on the Chargers with, because it is one of those situations. You got to be smart on how you bet it. You don't want to bet the team at the wrong moment where you're almost, buying in high and all of a sudden they suffer a loss and you could have waited a week and gotten some plus money. Chargers are very good. There's no doubt about that. I think they're right on the verge of maybe top 5 in the NFL status, and similar to the Bucks and the team you just talked about as well here. There's a lot of teams 3-0 in bad divisions right now. They're not all going to run the table and end up, 9-0, 10-0, 10 weeks from now. There's going to be fluctuation in the standings and really the right time to invest in a team. So I'm hoping the model can help us sort through this. I think we've covered reasons to believe in the Chargers at length at this point, but hopefully we'll have some new intel by Thursday later this week. Reminder, you need to get Dimers Pro so that you can get access to our futures updates all season long. We always reference it on the program, but when our model updates, we'll bring you the latest information. However, this model is going to update in between the time that we're recording this episode right now and the time that we come back on the program for episode 2 this week on Thursday.